The government wants to take guns away from law-abiding citizens. Our public safety minister has never heard of crime, and our law enforcement officials do not tolerate cosplay. This is Canada now. I'm Greg Wycliffe. On May 1st, Justin Trudeau announced the banning of 1,500 different firearms in Canada. Naive Canadians everywhere rejoiced in this feel-good decision, while everybody else was alarmed by the terrible smell of, smells like communism. Many Canadians were curious, how will this new policy help prevent things like the Nova Scotia shooting, the Danforth shooting, and the many shootings that happened in Toronto with illegal firearms? The answer is absolutely nothing, but Bill Blair, our public safety minister, has assured us that this gun grab is all about public safety.
Banning assault style firearms will save Canadian lives.
This is Bill Blair, a former police officer and now our public safety minister here in Canada. Miraculously, in this 3-minute announcement from him, he does not once mention the word crime or illegal firearm, as if there is no connection between gun deaths, illegal firearms, and crime. But really, who's got time for research and statistics? Because this is an order in council decision. So there's not even any parliamentary debate or any democratic process to pass this ruling. Oh, well, I got a whiff of basic dictatorship there.
There is no use and no place for such weapons in Canada.
You see, in Jill and Justine's fantasy land, crime and illegal firearms don't exist. They don't have to do with public safety. The only thing bad and dangerous are those pesky hunters and those evil hobbyists. For all of us in reality, however, or in areas of Toronto with crime rates only getting higher, we're still waiting for that Liberal plan to crack down on illegal guns, collecting illegal guns from criminals. But something tells me there is no plan in the works.
Teenagers are growing up in a world where gun violence is normalized.
Still waiting.
It needs to stop.
But hey, don't get the idea that the Liberals are light on crime just because they passed Bill C-75 last year that actually gives lighter sentences to, drumroll, people smuggling firearms into Canada. That's right. For those silly Canadians who care to look into what actually happens in the House of Commons, Bill C-75 also applies to charges related to terrorism, forging passports, and human trafficking. Isn't that swell?
It needs to stop.
Could it be that Canada is becoming less strict towards criminal behavior and more oppressive towards law-abiding citizens? No, I must be crazy. After all, we have the RCMP, our federal police force, to protect us. Just look at how they responded to the Nova Scotia shooting. Once they heard there was a crazy shooter on the loose, they didn't send an emergency response to everyone's cell phones telling them to stay inside and stay safe. No, they sent out a tweet on Twitter. Thank you, RCMP. They were so on top of this crisis that they had 2 RCMP officers shooting at a Firehall miles away from the shooter the morning of that day. Still waiting to hear back from those 2 RCMP officers. Bonk, bonk. Quick update there. CBC published a story yesterday saying the 2 RCMP officers were opening fire at someone who looks like the shooter. The shooter was wearing a fluorescent vest, and this individual outside of the fire hall was also wearing a fluorescent vest. We have not heard from or identified the person who is being shot at, and we still haven't heard a statement from these 2 RCMP officers. 2 RCMP officers who were allegedly opening fire at the wrong person. Bonk, bonk. Everything is fine. This is Canada now. Thanks for watching. You would have done a better job.